Leela, for having me at your show, The Leela Show. And thank you to all the listeners here who are tuned in to hear about my journey and everything. But first of all, wishing you guys a very happy new year. And yes, you were pretty close to the actual pronunciation. It's Rutvi Chahaun.
Rutvi Chahaun.
Yes, I don't want to correct you when you said Miss Universe USA, but it's Mrs. Universe
Mrs.
USA.
Universe,
I would love to have the title of Miss.
Okay, yes, Mrs. Universe,
Yes.
MRS.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming on the show and
Absolutely.
taking the time out of your busy schedule. Y'all, she just told me if I would ask her next week, she would have to tell me no. So I'm glad I caught you while you were available. This lady is a mom, a pageant queen, physical therapist, actress. You wear many crowns.
Yes. One I got here.
Yeah, she has her crown. She asked me, she was like, should she wear the crown? I'm like, absolutely. You're the first guest on here to be able to wear a crown. So yes, you go ahead and represent because you worked hard for that crown. So my first question for you, Mrs. Universe, is how did you become Mrs. Universe?
So I had the passion of, like being in the pageant since childhood. I was always fascinated with the blitz, glitz, and glamour, but I always thought that, hey, it's just, like going up on the stage and wearing the crown. But then as I grew older and when I researched, it's like, okay, those women are standing for something strong, and it's not just the beauty part of it.
Yes.
So beauty pageants were always, something that I was fascinated about, but it's not the top 5 careers of the South Asian Indian parents to put their daughters into. So of course I wasn't able to pursue that passion when I was young, when I was growing up. So I became a physical therapist. But after that, when I got married to my husband, he saw that I have that passion within myself, and and in 2017 was when I participated in the first ever pageant. Didn't win the first title, but I was first runner-up at that time. But that was the first breakthrough that I would say, and then it kept going with modeling, journey for the past 7 years. And 2023 was when I participated in Mrs. Universe USA. That got me, because I won that pageant, that got me into Mrs. Universe pageant, which just happened in October last year in South Korea.
Okay, you a world traveler.
Yes.
Okay, so remind the audience, what's your exact title?
So Mrs. Universe USA 2024 is the main title, as I represented United States of America for Mrs. Universe, and I got top 6 position in amongst 100 other contestants from all around the world. So I have top 25 title and top 6 Mrs. Universe 2024.
Okay, all right. So so you started this journey in 2017. What would you say is the most challenging part of the pageant journey?
The challenging part is being a physical therapist, having the background of being Indian, having 2 kids. So you already are playing a lot of roles, and then people would be like, why in the world are you taking a detour and going into modeling industry at the age of 37? So
I thought you were younger than that.
Why did I even do that?
37.
But hey, that's a good thing, so that I can inspire other women to
Yes.
step out of their comfort zone if they have a passion within themselves to pursue something beyond their career, beyond the societal barriers, the labels that have been given, like a mom or a wife, that you should be within those labels. This is something that I wanted to do for myself. And of course a social cause was attached to that, so that was the passion that got me into this.
Okay, good. And then you had your husband supporting you.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that's good.
I'm lucky in that department.
Yes, and you saying this is something that you wanted to do when you were younger that you didn't get a chance to, and you still, got to become a physical therapist and still got to chase your dream at your age. So that's very inspiring. You never know when your big break will come.
Absolutely.
So how does it feel to be the first Indian American woman from Texas to win?
As much as I'm proud to have that title, but it was a huge responsibility as well, because when people see United States of America contestant, but then I step up as the Indian girl, so they're like, okay, you're from USA, where are you originally from? That always comes, so it was a huge responsibility for me to represent the nation well amongst other 100 contestants from all around the world. So it was challenging, pretty challenging.
Yes. Okay, so how does it feel to represent the Indian American community?
Oh, that's a blessing, because I got support from both the communities, from countries all around the world, and from both the communities who are, you know, present all around the world. Like my family is scattered in Australia, India, and England.
Okay,
So
so you
all
got
those,
people from all over.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, and of course, United States of America, a youth support. Because when I was up on the stage, it wasn't me standing there, but it was the thousand, the million hands that supported me in my journey, that made me stand up on the stage that confidently.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good that you're, you know, representing your community and you have family from all over the world.
Yes, yes. Oh my
Okay.
goodness, when the link, when I posted the link on my social media about the live pageant, Mrs. Universe,
Yes.
regardless of time in their country or
Mhm.
which zone they were on, everybody was glued to the screen, because I think it was 3:30 a.m. in United States of America. But my family, my friends, my followers, everybody were there.
Okay, well, that's
Yes.
good that you have that
Yes,
support, because that
absolutely.
plays a role in your journey. And that's
Absolutely,
very important.
absolutely.
And you know, you seem very grateful and humble, so that's
Yes,
very good
yes.
that you know, giving a shout out to your supporters. So my next question is, you're a physical therapist, and I know that that is a very demanding job. You have patients, you know, you got to heal the people. So how do you balance being a physical therapist, an actress, a model, and a mother of two, and a wife? How do you balance that? Where do you find the time?
So like I said, that my dream was fulfilled after I turned 35. I mean, it was ongoing process since the first pageant, which I did in 2017. But when I actually saw that it was becoming productive and I won the Mrs. Universe USA pageant, I had 1 year to do my duties. So I didn't want to regret later that because of all the other roles that I'm playing, I missed on the chance of being present at the events, networking, or doing any community service. So I gave that 1 year to myself, to be out there in the community, to spread the awareness of all the social causes that I was supporting. But at the same time, managing everything was difficult, but with the support of my family and the way I managed. So what I did was, I still did my 9 to 5 job as a physical therapist, but I kept like 2-3 pairs of clothes in the trunk of my car. I would go at the gas station, change into my clothes. I mean, you know, like other than my scrubs, go at an event, be at an event for maybe 2 hours or something, go
And then
back to the
come
gas
right
station,
back.
change, and go
Yes.
home, and then take my son for his taekwondo class, for tennis class, for swim class, and then come back home, do my patient documentation from 9 to 11 after having dinner, and once everybody's asleep. 11 to 2 was my time to work on my pageant skills. I had no pageant coach or trainer or personal trainer or gym membership. So whatever I did, everything happened from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Sometimes 3 a.m. Like, you know, posting on social media, making the captions, making. So I would put my high heels on like 11:30 or 11 a.m. I mean p.m. and then I would start walking inside my house where everybody was asleep. I would turn on YouTube, and you know, like I would watch all the pageants possibly online, and I would copy, and I would, you know, like make notes, record myself, and just compare where I was lacking, how to talk, how to walk, how to pose, my posture, everything I did from that little time that I had. So I compromised on sleep, I compromised on all those kind of areas, but I was
sleep. Yes.
but I was always available and present for my kids and for my patients. So that's how I managed.
Okay. And you did all of this pageantry, and you didn't have a coach, no coach at all?
No, so
Okay.
I wouldn't say no coach. Before the last 2 weeks before Mrs. Universe, I did hire a coach just to brush me up, you know, give me a crash course and a reality check where I was doing good, where I was not. So I hired that coach just for 4 sessions, 30 minutes each, and that was it. But apart from that, for the whole entire year, I did not have any coach.
So you had a total of 2 hours of coaching.
Yes,
if you had
that's
to do the
it.
math.
That's it. Before I went to South Korea for Mrs. Universe.
Okay, self-taught pageant queen. I love it. Okay. So let's dive into like each of your careers. So first, tell me about your acting career. What movies have you been in? Let's
So
talk
I
about
wouldn't
that.
say movies. Yes, I always wanted to be like on screen, doing movies, doing video albums and all that. Again, it never happened when I was in India, but because of the passion that I had and because of the first runner-up title that I did in 2017, like the pageant that I did, that opened a lot of doors for me to be up there. So I was, I auditioned for a lot of fashion shows happening in town, for video shoots and all that. So that got me into that, some photography shoot and some brand collaborations at that time. So one of the producer approached me for, at that time, those the funny gigs were very, like trending.
Like
so
skits?
I was, yes,
Okay.
like 5-minute skits and,
Okay.
like some web series and some happy songs around New Year time or festivals. So I am the lead actress of 3 video songs, like that was in 2018, 2019,
Okay,
and
that's
some
good.
5-minute comedy skits here and there.
Okay, comedian.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, and tell us about your journey to becoming a physical therapist.
So it wasn't the first choice. Like I always wanted to be in fashion industry, being a fashion designer or a model or something. But my sister was a physical therapist, so she was undergoing the training of being a physical therapist. So my dad was always into, like, I would want my daughters. So we had just 2 daughters to our parents. So he was always inclined towards healthcare and health industry. So he's like, if you want to be a dentist or if you want to go into medicine or like, I'm there to support you. But my sister always, whenever she used to come home from her college, she would have a bag of bones and she would be, like studying all the parts and all that. And that fascinated me, apart from modeling industry. So that got me into physical therapy. And then, of course, 8 years later, I started practicing in Texas.
Pageant.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And can you tell the audience exactly what a physical therapist does?
So, depending upon, so the basic knowledge of physical therapy is to get the patients back to their prior level of function with rehab. So it could be a cardiac rehab if you have been to any cardiac procedure or something, or orthopedic cases like knee replacement, hip replacement, fractures. If you're into pediatrics, then it's more of treating conditions like cerebral palsy or any neurodevelopmental conditions that the kids have. Or also, it's also merging into sports and sports injuries, treating the sportsmen, the team, the players and all that. So it depends on which area you are in. I started with home health, I started with the outpatient practice. I also went into the hospital setting, outpatient setting, nursing home setting, and now I'm in home health care setting.
Okay. All right. So you've been everywhere taking care of people.
I wanted to, experience a little bit of everything and then settle down in something that I love to.
Okay, and that's home health care.
It's home health care. I'm a supervisor. I have like a team of 14 to 15 physical therapists working for me. They would do the treatments and I would do the assessments.
That's good.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right. So, what is a common misconception about you?
About myself?
Would you carrying this title and working in the health
well,
industry?
the misconception that I would say is because of my nature. I would say that I was I was always into, like the studious kind of a person. Always carried my head in the books, and then books is what I would do. So I don't have a lot of social circle. Like my social circle is very little, like the few people that I have, which I keep very close to me. So because I'm not too much into social activities and like the events, like people take me as, like, oh, she's rude, now she has the title, now she has the crown. Like,
but that's not true.
That's not true. It's just my personality. I would always be there for the community service, for the events which I'm invited to. But apart from that, I feel a little guilty that I'm not spending too much time with my family. But I think that's the resolution for my year 2025, that I'm going to be, coming out of my comfort zone as well, and getting to know more people and be more socializing. So that would be my
so
thing.
get out the house
That's a little
more.
misconception,
All right.
but it's not something on the rude side, but it's the personality factor.
Yeah, so you would say that you're very reserved.
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
would say that. Yeah.
Okay, it's nothing wrong with that. So, when you were crowned Mrs. Universe of 2024, what is your cause that you were passionate about?
So when I was doing my internship, I came across, so I was posted in the burns ward, and I was treating this patient who was 82% burned from her family, her in-laws, and her husband was the one who set her on fire.
Oh my goodness.
So that was a case of domestic violence that I was looking for, and she, when I saw her, she requested me to step out of the hospital ward so that she can jump off the hospital building, because she said that I have no life to lead and there was no purpose to it, because nobody is going to take her back with that kind of. She passed away a day later because of the percentage. But I was doing my internship and I could take few legal steps at that time, being Rutvi Chahaun, being a physical therapist. So when I found out about Mrs. Universe organization that supports domestic violence survivors, I thought this is the best combination of going for my cause that I always wanted to, spread awareness about, and also live my childhood dreams of being into pageants and doing the blitz, glitz, and glamour, which I'm always, fascinated about. So that was something that brought
domestic
me.
violence awareness.
Yes.
That's okay. That's good. That's a very good cause. So, if you weren't a pageant queen / physical therapist, model, actress, what do you think you would be doing?
I really wanted to be an actress. So I always.
It's not too late.
Yeah, I know, but I wish I could have started a little early. That's what I would tell the parents as well, that if you see that your daughters, or if your relatives, like your nieces or anybody else whom you know are interested in this field, don't suppress their desire or their passion, but support them in their journey. If they have that within them, they will shine. They will, and it's not just the glamour part, the glamour content of being in the beauty pageant, because it's always linked up with a purpose. It's beauty with a purpose. So support them. Who knows, they could be a ambassador like Priyanka Chopra, like she is so much into community services and all. She is past Miss World and author, philanthropist. So you could be anybody once you have your passion within yourself. So I would tell all the families to support their loved ones in their passion.
Okay, all right, that's good. So y'all heard that, parents. If your kid wants to be a star, you should definitely support that dream.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us, how do you unwind after a long day?
Well, during that one whole year, the adrenaline was one that was taking me to all the events, job, and doing all the different roles. Now that I have won the title. I mean, I went to South Korea. I competed for 10 days in South Korea with 100 other contestants from all around the world. I got the top 6 title, Miss Magnificent title. And then now that I came back, I promised my kids that I'll spend as much as time I could.
Okay.
So that was the thing that I did for the next couple of months, like till December. But now again, it's a new chapter of the new diary 2025. What I want from you guys is to support and always follow me on my social media platforms, Rutvi_Mrs. Universe USA, and you can always give me feedback, positive, negative, because I want to hear all of those so I can better myself and work on myself. Like I said, I don't have a coach, I don't have a mentor, so your critics, your feedback is what I'll take, and I'll work on myself. So please support me in my journey and follow me on my social media platforms.
Okay, yes. And my last question for today is, do you have any advice to give to those that maybe want to, be a physical therapist or a pageant queen?
Absolutely. I would say that never stop dreaming. Always chase your dreams, because somebody has to break the social barrier or the societal norm. So if it's you, be it. Take bold decisions, because bold decisions make bold women, and bold women creates history. So the only limitation that you should have should be the scope of your limitation and the size of your dreams. So live big. Life is only one time, and you don't want to regret later. Live it fully under legal boundaries, of course.
Okay.
But chase your dreams.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the Leela Show on 953 Jams. We really appreciate you doing the interview, being my first guest of 2025, and I just wish you much more success and to see you on TV, movies, and if I get hurt, hope maybe you'll be my physical therapist.
If that happens again, you'll have to interview me.
Okay, yes, definitely. Okay.
Thank you so much to all the listeners, and thank you, Leela, for having me on your show.